The second day of the two most important is the day you figure out why you're here. So the first part that I want to talk about this morning is this, or this afternoon, is this thing called purpose and goals.
Because you're here for a reason, right? Y'all have a reason for being here? Okay. We need to uncover and identify what that why is.
Don, you want to come on up?
You betcha. The two most important days in your life, number one is the day you're born. Absolutely celebrate. And when you have a birthday, celebrate again. And when you have a birthday, celebrate again. If you want to celebrate half birthdays, that's powerful too. Celebrate you. I write messages on Facebook. My message typically on Facebook is have a grand celebration of you, right? Because the day that you were born, that's a magic day. It's going to carry energy for the rest of your life. And if you're one of those that gets down on yourself because you're turning a certain age, you suck, okay? Don't do that to yourself. The second day of the two most important is the day you figure out why you're here. So the first part that I want to talk about this morning is this, or this afternoon, is this thing called purpose and goals.
Because you're here for a reason, right?
Yes.
Y'all have a reason for being here?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to uncover and identify what that why is. Why you took some of the most valuable thing that you have to give, your time, and gave it to us today. Okay, we have to uncover that because that helps me understand how we're going to help you do what I feel is one of the most important things that you could do, which is execute.
I'm really of the mindset that purpose is the foundation for everything. That if we don't know why we're here, then nothing really matters. I mean, the only thing we can say then is, I've got a job because I'm supposed to, and I make some money because I need to. And I mean, that's about the most we have if we don't have purpose. Right? So we've got to figure out where our purpose comes from. And here's the questions that I want to give you, because this is where you start to decide. And by the way, if you don't know what your purpose is, if you've never really given it much thought, if you've never found yourself in a place where you've decided what your purpose is, I'm going to suggest to you that your purpose should be right now to find your purpose.
If your why, if you haven't figured out your why, maybe I can help you a little bit. Maybe you've realized that having your face on the grocery cart shopping deal isn't the place to be, or the bus park bench. Okay, maybe that's why you're here. Maybe it's a life event that happened. Okay, that has caused you to kind of go, uh-oh, I need to pivot. Maybe our industry are disruptors. Something's going on in our industry. That could be a life event for you, and it's making you change. Life events happen, and they create what we call setbacks. And sometimes these setbacks are like, they're what Don said, failures. And these failures could be so big that it could take your breath away. It could be so big that other people, not these people in the room here, but other people that understand what we do every day, other people would look at that setback and say, it's just too big to overcome. There's absolutely no way. It is a true failure. It's not a setback, that's a failure.
So what I know is that this is going to be some of the things that will get us to the point of asking the questions we need to ask, which bring us to why are we here? What's important to me? What's at the foundation of all of it? What makes you feel alive? It's always interesting to talk to people about what they did when they passionately approach something. A lot of times it's music or art or something when they're much earlier in life. Maybe it's a sport, maybe it's a thing, a hobby, a passion. And then they get to life at some point in life and somebody says, you know, at some point you got to grow up and get a job. And that's the crusher, right? That's the place where they get crushed, because the spirit is alive through the passion that they had, and yet it gets crushed because they don't pursue their purpose. They pursue making a living. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in 10 or 15 or 20 or 50 years later, still in that boat, have no idea why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I get up and do it every freaking day. It's a crappy place to be. Thanks for saying that. I would have never said crappy in front of this group, but she said it. I just want to make sure you know I don't curse in front of audiences. Damn it. I never, ever.
Then there are those moments that you could have in this life event that bring you to your knees, having you asking for guidance and crying. We've had those life events. Matter of fact, I had that life event, and it wasn't too long ago. That's why I'm here.
So passion. Passion, big deal. So if you limit your choices only to what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all you have left is compromise. And that's where a lot of people live. This is where we spend our time, and where it's kind of the death zone, to be honest with you. It's a little bit like Everest. If you don't know that there's what they call the death zone, where the oxygen thins out and there's all these dead bodies that are frozen in ice and will be there forever because nobody can get them down. They can't get them out, and they can't get them down because nobody's got the energy. That death zone, that's what happens right here. We get lost in compromise, and we lose our energy. We're not in it because we want to. We're in it because we need to. And I really want you to get that today. Never settle. Always make amazing happen. Let's create greatness in what we do. You are great. I'm going to make sure that when I leave today, the final thought I give you is one that I hope will lift you and leave you lifted for a long time. Not as like a warm shower, but like something that really makes you think about yourself differently, that through the course of our time together, you begin to see yourself as big as I see the possibilities for you, as big as I see you. And if you don't have enough faith in yourself, if you don't see yourself in that way, that you can borrow my faith in you, knowing that you are a human being with potential beyond anything that you've ever experienced.
I had to quickly learn that when you forgive and you're able to move forward and face everything, that you have to learn how to protect what you created, protecting your brand.